Hello everyone, Bullet Gambit, hello. We're gonna talk about the Destiny new patch notes and things. So, basically what they did to Fabian's strategy was they added the ability to, whenever you get kills, you get your ammo back. And when you get kills, it reloads the magazine, but it takes from the reserve, so you can't, you can shoot forever, but, you can't shoot, because if you look closely, it takes from the reserve. So if you're down to like 50 rounds, you won't get like all the ammo back. Like you'll kill at least like 3 enemies and you'll have like 27 rounds left at least. And the cool thing about this gun now is that it just is so much better than before. Like I use it now, like it's my favorite. It's my favorite gun of all time. I just love it. Another thing they wanted to fix in PvP was basically if you had full armor on a subclass, you basically couldn't get sniped out of your super because they nerfed a lot of snipers. They nerfed the LDR, the longbow synthesis, and 1,000-yard stare. They didn't really nerf it much. They just dumbed down the aim assist because when you had target acquisition, like you'd be disgusting in Crucible. Like you could basically just jump in the air and then boom, snipe, and they would you'd shoot them in the foot and basically get a headshot. Is what I'm trying to say. So basically, when you have full armor, you won't get sniped out of your super anytime, but you have to have full armor. So if you don't have full armor and you're like, oh, I thought they fixed it where you couldn't get sniped, well, you have to have full armor on your subclass when using like Sunbreaker, Blade Dancer, Stormcaller, all that stuff. And they fixed they didn't fix, but they basically want to make people use different perks other than on a Sky Rifle, Triple Tap, and Firefly. They fixed basically Guerrilla Fighter, and it's like PvP and PvE perks, basically like Guerrilla Fighter, Exhumed, Grave Robber, and I can't remember the other perk, but they fixed a lot of perks you wouldn't usually use on your guns. So when you use say you had a Grasp of Malak with Exhumed and you die in elimination, basically you'll have an additional 10 seconds on it, I believe. And then on Guerrilla Fighter, they boosted it by 200%. So you're gonna take I don't know who would use it in PvE. I don't know anybody that uses Guerrilla Fighter in PvE unless it's your favorite gun in the game, and you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna use this perk. Basically how Guerrilla Fighter works is basically where if you crouch behind cover and you aim, it's gonna proc you with standing up and aiming. So basically you're gonna have some division stuff going on, and then you'll take less damage. It says increased resistance and stability. Yeah, increased resistance and stability. And then you basically have more defense on your side, but I don't know anybody who uses it, honestly. They also fixed they didn't fix, but auto rifles, pulse rifles, and hand cannons got a little tweak, and shotguns as well. So auto rifles got reduced the maximum magazine size for the highest rate of fire auto family. So besides Doctrine, I think Hakon's Hatchet, I don't know if it's a high rate of fire because it has a little bit of impact. It's kind of like Fabian's strategy where it has a little bit of impact. So I don't know if that got nerfed or not, so try it out, I guess. And they basically increased damage to middle rate of fire auto rifles quality by 1.5%. Pulse rifles increased the rate of fire of the Hawkeye weapons, basically all the pulse rifles, and increased damage for middle rate of fire family pulse rifles. Nirwan's Mercy. So basically, if you have a Nirwan's Mercy or what is it called, Reflection Sum, that's gonna have more. Basically, if you have the Reflection Sum, it's kind of like the twin brother of Nirwan's Mercy. It's just it might not have the best stats. But then they also did something to sidearms where basically if you have a Hawkeye sidearm, I think the one from Iron Banner is a Hawkeye sidearm, increased damage for existing Hawkeye sidearms families by 3% for lowest rate of fire and 7% for higher rate of fire. So if you're a sidearm fam or something like that, this buff's gonna be the one for you. So, and then they didn't buff fusion rifles, but they also they buffed the accelerated coils basically, so it'd bounce off walls, I think. So accelerated coils correctly reflects damage reduction now on the UI stat bars. No charge. No change to gameplay effect. UI only. Fix an issue where the stat bars are on Tenchu and Rage. Display incorrectly. I mean, that's a year 1 fusion rifle, so you don't really have to worry about anything, but they basically just... So it's basically saying if you're using like those year 1 weapons, basically for like Crucible, or like maybe like if you want to just, you know, use one of those guns you had in year 1 that were amazing. And what they did for weapon perks, now magazine perks now give a range bonus. Nice. Removed impact stat bonuses that have no effect on base damage and only on the UI bars. Armor piercing rounds add 4+ range, reduces -4 handling. High caliber rounds adds 3+ range, reduces -1 5 handling. Skip rounds adds +5 range, reduces 3 -3 handling, adds +5 recovery. And now, like, we're going on like these all the perks you wouldn't really use in like PvP and all that. So like, I don't really know anybody that has this on their sniper, but like Take a Knee now activates after 0.5 seconds of crouching, so it activates pretty fast. But I mean, I don't really know anybody. Like, usually people run like Last Resort, or they run like Firefly, where they run Target Acquisition, because, you know, you want that extra aim assist. And then they have the perks for like elimination or like skirmish or anything, like Exhumed added an extra 5+ seconds, 15 seconds total of effect time. So basically when you get revived, Exhumed basically like gives you more like handling. So if say like you get like rezzed and you like run away for a sec, you'll have like better, like, I'm guessing like maybe aim assist. I think it's aim assist or it's handling. I'm pretty sure it's handling and stability on Exhumed. Then Cascade functionally charge. Melee kills automatically reload a portion of the magazine. So, I mean, if you use Steel Piercer, or not Steel Piercer, what is Cascade on? Cascade is on... I actually can't think of a gun right now that has Cascade on it. Well, if you have a gun, it shows like a hand with a knife in it. So basically, when you get melee kills, you're gonna get like a portion of the magazine back. And then, I saw this on Dragon's Breath, but it didn't like increase the ammo, which was kind of sad. It was surplus. Surplus now increases carried ammo capacity. So Dragon's Breath still holds 6 without rocket like ammo. So I don't really know. And then basically Firefly before, if you would get like a bunch of precision kills, because you know precision kills makes the target explode. If you did it before, it would like sometimes crash your game because the Firefly effect would come off of you instead of the enemy. Like, it would go off, but it would also come off you as well. Like, you wouldn't die, but it would just come off you instead. And then it would basically like glitch the game out and be like, you know, like, what the hell? And I like what they did to Universal Remote, because like this gun was just disgusting, because it was the only shotgun in this game with shot package still, because when you aim the weapon, basically you would have like shot package, because the perk is you get like full range, and then you have like, because I think it has hammer forge instead of like rifle barrels. So it says the exotic perk range bonus is reduced by 75%, so you're not going to get those like basically bullshit kills where you're like, wow, like how did he get that range? Well, now it's going to be like a regular shotgun, maybe like a party crasher without rifled barrel, maybe. But I think it will still have rangefinder or shot package, whatever it is. I think it's shot package, honestly. And then they increase the rate of fire and decrease the damage as a secondary effect. So I think you'll still be able to res kill with the gun. And so now here's the new thing about Thorn. So what they decided to do about Thorn, because it was like a god in year 1, because you would just shoot people twice and walk away. That's how Thorn worked. So they reduced the base range by 25%, but then they also added a new perk on it where if you shoot them and they get poisoned, it shows their location and their like basically health bar. So I'm assuming this is Keen Scout on the Thorn. So I'm guessing when you shoot someone, it's either going to show an outline of their body, or it's going to show the little you know, the little crosshairs on them. And I don't think anybody's really gonna care about Taken King when Rise of Iron comes out, like the raid, because if you guys do basically the method where you have 2 titans in the middle, Blessing and Light, and Weapons of Light, then you kill all the ogres and so and so. They basically removed where Touch of Malice before, when you like had the bonus round, it would take the Blessing of Light bubble down instead of your actual health, but now it's going to remove that whole entire thing and take away your health. So you're going to have to either use a primary or like a sniper or something, because you're going to have to only run Weapons of Light. And then No Time to Explain got Headseeker, Boolean, and Gemini got High Caliber rounds, which is basically Might of Multi-Tool from year 1. And then what else? Oh yeah, Class Items got shaders now, which is pretty cool. I have it on my Hesperos mark, where I have Eva Cave or whatever it's called, the raid one, where you did all the calcite fragments. I think that's Ballantine. That was it was all the thingies from the raid, those little items like the Ravenous Heart and everything. Yeah. And then public events got a lot of cool things, like, so a lot of people don't do public events much because either they have the Grimoire card or they just don't really want to sit around, because the public events take about like 30 to 20 minutes to come. Like they take like at least 5 minutes to do, but if you do the public events tracker, it takes around like 45 minutes if you're on Earth. So if you're in the Rusted Lands and then you go to Forgotten Shore, it'll come around like 30 minutes. Or if you go to like the sky, like I'm pretty sure if like it's in like a radius, so like the closer you are, the longer you have to wait, or the farther you are, like sometimes you'll be like, oh no, it's gonna start in like 2 minutes or something like that. So what they did now, so if you get gold, which like everyone gets, you'll get 1 legendary engram, you'll get 15 destination materials, you'll get 15 legendary marks, 5 motes of the light, very low chance of an exotic shard, so you have like a little chance of an exotic shard. And then you get 4,000 experience, core subclass gear, and then you get 25 Vanguard rep. And then if you get if you do it again, you basically get lower, and it doesn't look like you get a legendary engram. And then if you get silver, you get 100 glimmer, you get a chance of 2 to 3 destination materials, and then 750 XP. If you get bronze, which I'm sorry, but if you get bronze, I'm sorry, but like that's just pretty trash. You'll get 50 glimmer, chance to 1 to 2 destination materials, and 500 XP. And they also fix 3v3 game types, give slightly less heavy ammo per brick. And what they also did for elimination, if you play elimination, they basically added where there's only 1 heavy ammo, so both teams can't just like chill with their heavy, and then if you're like, oh, I'm gonna go rush their heavy. Well, now I played it. It's in like really random locations. Like on Cauldron, it's in the middle. So people just start throwing solar grenades, skip grenades, like everything, because they know that when you get to that heavy ammo, it's just gonna be fire, arc, void, nukes, explosions, like everything. It's pretty sick. I'm assuming they're gonna add it to trials as well, because I don't know why they wouldn't, because it's elimination. It's the exact same thing, just no rewards. And you have a bigger, like a stronger shield with the rifts. So you remember how you would go on the rift and you'd be like, yeah, I got it, and then some guy out of nowhere would throw you with a sticky grenade or snipe you in the head? Well, now this time you're gonna have like a little bit of stronger shield. I think it doesn't tell you. No. Okay. Well, when you grab the rift, I think it's off like when you get the rift, not like when you have the rift. So I'm assuming you get like a tiny shield for a sec, and then you have the regular armor. And then they added an overshield when you spawn. So when you spawn, okay, so here's an example. So Twilight Gap, you know, on the far right, if you spawn on the one side where it's like outside, you can basically chill there, and someone can spawn at the far range area, and you can get just them, like right there. Well, I'm assuming now, I'm assuming Black Spindle can't tear through an overshield, you'll be like fine. Like you can either shade step or you just walk out of the way, because you're not like completely in the open. And then Pantheon, oh my god, they rotated a lot of maps. So Rusted Lands added invisible physics to stop players from escaping intended player areas. So I'm assuming like if you go to the far like left where the broken like wall is, you can actually jump outside the map and jump back in to like maneuver around someone. And then Pantheon got rotated lower heavy ammo crate to keep ammo from falling off the map. Oh, that's the bridge. I'm assuming they're gonna move that to the side of the little bridge. And then they got Crossroads, added invisible physics to stop players from camping. Of course, Crossroads is basically where you have the little jump pads and teleports and all that. So I'm assuming there's a way to actually like maneuver around there. And then Blind Watch moved elimination tiebreaker zone indoors to avoid. Okay, so the tiebreaker was in that little small room, which was really stupid. They're probably gonna move that all the way up to the top area. So that's pretty good. And literally that's all the patch notes. I'm pretty happy with the patch notes, honestly. Like, I like what they did with the like all the stuff. Like, they basically fixed one of the Titan exotics that was actually crap in the beginning, because like there was Tlaloc and Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades, it was better than Fabian's strategy, but Tlaloc, that was just disgusting. How you got like more rate of, like you if you're a Sunsinger, you got more rate of fire. Like, who uses their Sunsinger other than Radiant Skin or Song of Flame? I mean, let's be real. And like, you're obviously gonna camp there because you know you have self-res because you have a second life, unless you don't get like completely shot down. But yeah, that's all the patch notes. I hope you guys liked the video. You know, I just read off all the patch notes off of the Destiny update. So, you know, leave a comment and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!